And I'm a big Apple fanboy. I used to work at the Apple store. I look like just every Apple employee you've ever seen. And I'm a big fan of Apple, but I'm not a fan of their latest program, Apple Pay Later.
Oh, no!
It's here, folks. And it's more dangerous than I could even explain, Jade. You know why? Because no one has to sign up for it. It's already built into your iPhone.
I hate this. I hate it already, and I don't even fully know what it is yet, but I kind of do.
So, we decided to make this a surprise for Jade, because I'm a giant nerd, so I'm just looking up this stuff all day long.
Run down the facts for me, George.
So on Tuesday, Apple launched Apple Pay Later, and it allows users to split purchases into 4 interest-free payments paid over 6 weeks with no additional fee.
Hate it.
So you buy something for $100, Apple Pay, while you're checking out with Apple Pay, says, hey, why pay $100 now? You can pay $25 now and pay the other $75 over the course of 6 weeks.
So you're paying $25 a week for a $100 purchase?
Ish. It's over 6 weeks.
Okay.
So there's no interest or fees. You're not paying any more for the product. So people out there are going, well, George, Jade, what's wrong with this?
What's wrong with it? There's so many things wrong with it.
Well,
keep going.
So here's what happens. Prior to making a purchase, Apple Pay Later users can apply for a loan. So I'm glad they call out that it is a loan, people.
Why,
It's not a loan. Between $50 and $1,000 is what you can use this for.
Oh, my gosh.
You can use it for in-app purchases, online, retailers that accept Apple Pay, which is pretty much everyone these days. And so Apple conducts a soft credit check. They review your credit score, and they promise that this process won't impact your score. And if you're approved, you'll see all of these payments in your Apple Wallet. And so it's built into Apple Wallet. It'll show exactly what you owe. And that's it. You're applying for a loan right at checkout. And so as you spend during the week, you have all these tiny little microloans that you owe money on. Now you're wondering, what's the catch, right? Because it's a 0% interest rate. There's no fees, 4 payments over 6 weeks. But here's the catch, Jade. Apple makes money from the transaction fees.
Yes.
Right? The swipe fees, the interchange fees. So when you make a purchase, Apple gets a cut of that. And so Apple stays out of the fray here. You know who you're going to hate?
The bank.
The bank. Because what happens when you have 17 payments and you can't budget for that, and so all of a sudden you overdraft because you didn't realize how much you actually spent, because in your brain you spent 25% of that amount, and now you overdraft, and that incurs a $35 fee, $40 fee every single time it overdrafts.
I am just beside myself. I need for people to understand, if $100, look, I don't want you putting anything on payments, but if $100 purchase or a $50 purchase, you're like, you know what, let me just spread this out over 6 weeks. You can't afford it. You ain't got no money.
Here's the worst part, Jade. The VP of Apple Pay, her name's Jennifer. She said in the press release, she said, well, we built this because we care about the financial health of our users. That's what we had the financial health of our users in mind, and we want them to have flexibility, Jade. That's all it is.
Here's the thing.
Why spend all that money now? They have other bills to pay.
Okay, then let's let the viewer weigh this, or the listener, I should say, weigh this. Are we going to listen to Jennifer, who we've already understood is getting a kickback every time you go into debt, or are you going to listen to just me and good old George here on the radio, who are making no money off of this? We just care about your well-being. We understand the damage that debt does to people. Like, you're eroding your future for a $25 payment. If you didn't have the $100 today or the extra $25 today, chances are you're not going to have it next week. You're not going to have it the week after that. And then I'm just thinking about just the generality of this. Like, if you're spreading money and payments over weeks, most people aren't getting money every week. Most people are on they get paid twice a month or once a month, that sort of thing. Like, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea, George.
Here's a financial concept.
Oh.
Don't buy things you can't afford. It's so old-timey. And so let me make this very clear for all of you watching out there. Apple doesn't give a rip about your financial health. Yeah. They exist to make money. They are launching this to make money and steal market share from all of these buy now, pay later companies that are out there.
And more than that,
that's it.
You can tell by the type of debt this is who it's aimed at. All right? The folks who've got a little bit of money, they're not doing buy now, pay later.
It's buy now, pay now.
It's buy now, pay now. This is aimed at lower income people who are living paycheck to paycheck, people who are already struggling, and they're making a bad situation worse. And I can't stand that, George. I cannot stand companies who their entire income structure is based off of you or me failing, you or me defaulting, you or me not being able to make ends meet. I hate companies that earn money that way. And I, for one, refuse to participate in it.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
hope that you do too, man. This is terrible stuff. This is like the payday lender. This is like the digital
absolutely.
payday lender.
Yeah, but it looks better because there's no interest in fees. They go, well, Jade, it's a great option. But here's what Klarna found, and they brag about this to retailers. These buy now, pay later companies, they're scum. Klarna on their website bragged to retailers that consumers will spend up to 45% more if you have buy now, pay later on your website.
Wow. And here's the thing.
They're telling you what they're doing to you, and all of you out there are going, sucks to be them. And yet on Twitter, if you look up any of these companies, they're like, oh, dang, Klarna going to kill me this month with all these payments. Oh, well, YOLO.
I hate it.
This is the mentality of a generation.
But here's the thing, and here's where the internet gets us, because most, I'm going to be careful how I say this. Most of us who use buy now, pay later, we would not be willing to walk into a payday loan store. Because you feel the stigma, you see it, it's always in that side of town, or it's always, you don't want to walk into there, and you don't want to, tell your friend, hey, I'll be right back, I'm just going to the payday loan store. You don't want to tell them that. But because it's digitized, it looks fancier, it looks sleek. It's like, hey, it's just buy now, pay later. But I guarantee you, we wouldn't do that if it was put in a different format. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it lives in our pocket.
It lives in our pocket.
There's no shame. It's just us. And here's what it is. It's frictionless spending.
Yeah.
And the more convenient we make it, the stupider we get and the more broke we become. It's that simple.
Yeah. Talk about that, George, the frictionless spending, because we know the studies around that, the difference between how your brain actually functions when you spend money with cash versus plastic versus really nothing, just the magic of the interwebs, right?
When you go to the grocery store with $200 cash from your envelope system because you're working this plan, it physically pains you to hand over $200 in cash, and you lose that money.
Yeah, those sensors in your brain light up because it knows
you
this
had
hurts.
that cash, now you don't have it. The cashier has it. When you use a card, any card, debit card, credit card, you don't feel any pain. You swipe, and then you leave with that card, and you leave with your groceries. And so your brain says, that didn't hurt at all. And now with our phones, I don't even have to pull out a card.
Oh, man.
I just hold my phone over it, and then the phone says, hey, why spend $100? I'll give you 75% off. Just spend $25 today. We'll worry about the other payments later. And what does that do? It causes you to be broke because you can't mentally or physically budget for all of these different payments coming out. And in your mind, you're saying, well, I'm giving myself flexibility. No, what you're giving yourself is acid reflux down the road when that thing overdraws on your account, and now you're getting dinged for $40 a time. And that keeps happening.
The overdraft is going to be
Banks
so
make
real.
billions of dollars from overdraft fees.
Oh, yeah.
And Apple's genius in this because they go, well, they're not going to be mad at us. We didn't do anything wrong. It's on the banks. It's on the users.
I want to know, okay, and meanwhile, Apple is the one conducting the soft credit check.
Yes.
Right?
They want to make sure you're in good financial standing if they're going to loan you $1,000.
Oh my gosh, it's just so bad that in a second somebody can say you're in good financial standing. Just in a second. Think about this. Think about how long it would take you. For those of you who, don't really budget, you're getting on track with your money. Think how much time it takes you to sit down, you look at your expenses, you're listing everything out, and it takes time to see really what the state of your finances are.
Oh, absolutely.
But Apple knows in 3 hot minutes whether or not you can be loaned money. They're telling you, hey, we know the state of your finances. We think you can afford this. We're going to issue you this line of credit. Come on. Does that even...
I really want to love you, Apple, but you're making it difficult, and I'm doing my best Ted Lasso impression with my track jacket today, and it really... I was going to watch the new episode tonight, and I don't want to now.
Well, they're
Put a bad taste in my mouth.
They're jumping on that bandwagon of easy money, taking advantage of folks, taking advantage of the least of these financially...
Here's a wild idea for Apple. Maybe make a better product if you want more money. Maybe innovate a little. God, Steve Jobs is rolling around in his grave right now going, really, guys? This is what we've come to? Being the payday lender of America with Apple Pay Later? Just say no. Your wallet, your budget, your financial future will thank you for it.
Got
This
him.
is The Ramsey Show.